it's Sandra Pike from Roll of Page Atlantic and the Pike Group. And today I thought to bring a good friend of mine. And not only is she a great friend of mine, but she happens to be a real estate agent here in Halifax. Having said that, she is also a builder. So Tamara, I'll let you introduce yourself and maybe just talk a little bit about Whitestone. And you know what I'd like to know? How did you think about opening up a construction company? Like, that's wild.
Well, when I got into real estate in 91, I was working for a builder. I went to work for a builder, a really kind man, Ray Marchand, who has since passed. And he taught me everything he knew about new construction. And I just loved every minute of it. I was 21 and my first love was housing. And when I did a couple of projects on my own, I liked that even better than selling Rays. I like doing my own. And then in 94, I met my husband, who was Red Seal Carpenter, and he was doing mostly renos at the time. And I convinced him to do a new house for me. And that's how it started. With one house in 95 to 40 plus houses a year now. That's
incredible. So here we are in 2020, and I mean, we faced a lot of challenges. If you had to look at, you know, your own business, but before we get into that question, I'd like to know how many homes that you are building this year and what you have planned for 2021, and what are some of the challenges that you're facing this year with your builds?
Oh my God. We have right now, as of our production meeting on Monday, we have 22 homes on the go. We have 4 extensive renovations, complete tear downs and start overs. And we have 1 commercial building, which we are doing for ourselves. And the challenges, probably the biggest challenge, and I hate to pick on HRM, is HRM and permitting and applications. They all seem to be working from home and we just can't get things moving along fast enough. And if one thing is missing from a file or they want something extra, then you're sending it in and it's 2 or 3 days delay with them getting it. And then if it's not the right thing, they're sending it back again. So there's not this instant, like we're not getting, the front end is super slow. And then you find the builders are trying to build the house in 4 months. We're asking for 6. We need a month at the front end for permitting, and then you need some extra time just in case going through the winter months. But in the olden days, I should say, I shouldn't say that. That makes me sound old. We used to be able to build homes in 4 months.
Wow.
We're at 8 months now.
Wow. And so how long, prior to COVID, how long was a permit, you said?
Oh my God, a couple of weeks. Like if you were 2 weeks, that was a lot.
And now
the last couple have been 5 and 6 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And so how has staffing been for you throughout this? Have you had skeleton staff? Have you maintained your staffing?
Yeah, our boys are good. They decided to group together in pairs of 2 and then commit to each other to be safe.
Good.
They don't come back to the office with the vans or the equipment anymore. They take the vans home with themselves so that they're not interacting with the office staff. We do a lot of Zoom meetings. We have sold the most homes by FaceTime or Zoom ever in my life. If you had told me this last year, I would have said, Sandra, you're crazy. Who's going to buy a $700,000 home without seeing it? But it's happening. And so that's probably one of the changes that everybody had to get used to, like the boys doing Zoom meetings. I know the first one, they must have sweat 5 pounds off just trying to, this is not right, because they're like touchy and showy and here's the plans, and they had a rhythm in their mind of how they had to go, and then they had to adjust to talking to a computer and us never meeting these people. Whereas in the old days, pre-COVID, I'm going to call it, they would be meeting with the clients on site, you know, every couple of weeks saying, okay, we're at the paint stage, we're at the electrical stage, you know, come see what this looks like. So very interactive with the clients and very inclusive. And now it's almost like we don't see the clients till close day for real, like real people and then they have to self-isolate.
Yes,
So the best you can do is lay a bottle of wine at the front door and stand in the driveway and toast them.
Absolutely. So I know there's been some issues with price changes in lumber. Has that affected you at all, or you're still good with your supplies?
Well, once we have it sold, we pass that contract on to the building supplies company, and they will hold our price on that home and the package. It's not just lumber. We have a 6% increase in siding coming up, and there is an increase in cement coming up. And
Really
at the end of December, if you don't have your permit pulled, there is a surcharge by Halifax Water, and it's either $4,300 or $4,500 extra a permit.
So will that be that's obviously going to be passed down to the consumer?
It has to. If we don't have the contract in hand before the end of December, anything written after that, we have to pass that on. But if we have the contract in hand and go apply for the permit, then we're good.
Yeah. So if I commit to building a $700,000 house, apart from regular upgrades, will that still be my price at close?
That'll still be your price at close. The only way you could mess up or add to that is if you went over on your flooring, your cabinets, your lights, or you said, I don't know, what are some people go over, they want all this landscaping done at the time, or but on city lots, that doesn't add up to much anyway. So most of the extras are on flooring and kitchens. But most of the time, like, we send the plans out to be priced. That's the difference between custom and production. Like, everybody touches the plans we price, everybody that we deal with. And we've dealt with the same people forever and a day. So Peter at MCK would get it, and he would say, Tamara, that house is going to need a $40,000 kitchen. Or, Tamara, we can get away with a $20,000 kitchen.
Yep.
So they're very realistic to what the client's needs might be. So he's not going to put a $20,000 kitchen in a $700,000 house. So if you go over, it really is minimal because they've usually pre-thought the type of client that we're dealing with. And most of the time, the clients have already met with some of the suppliers before we even price it.
Okay. If you were to look at the homes that you had sold this year, where would you say most of your clientele were coming from? Are they local, or are they from out of province?
Out of province. Now we have some on the go for mover downers. We're doing downsizing into 3,000 square foot bungalows. But the last 4 deals on Olaf were all from Ontario. And we have one from Fort Mac coming home. And another one is a second build. We built them a townhouse, and now they're moving up to a single family. So those, most of them are from, I would say 70% of our clients this year were from out of town.
Do you think that was because of COVID that they're coming here, or do you think that it was because of our pricing is a lot more reasonable?
I think both, because I think COVID made people realize what they could do without, and if they could work from home. And once their companies realized that these people were still productive, if not more productive, being at home, when the question was asked, well, if I can work from home, can I go home? Because all of these people were originally from here and had to leave for work. Now they're coming back and saying, I want to go home and I'll work from home. I've heard slower pace, better life, closer to family. I couldn't afford a house in Toronto. I couldn't buy a house in Ottawa. There's no way I'm owning a house in Vancouver. So they want the house. They don't want to be quarantined in an apartment again. And most consensus, now the government's going to tell us differently, but most people believe COVID's going to be going on for a few years.
Yes, I would have to agree.
Yeah, I don't think this vaccine is the end all be all of anything.
If you had to look at 2021, what would you say some of your challenges are going to be?
Trades are all a challenge. Like, my average guy My average carpenter is 53 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the hardest guys working are close to 60. My bricklayer is over 60. My cement driveway guy is over, I think he's 68.
Wow.
So a lot of the trades are getting up there. But
Yeah, they're hard to come by.
They're hard to come by. The young ones aren't going into the trades, and I don't know why not, because it's a good life.
Oh yeah, I mean plumbers, for example, do extremely well. Yeah.
You know what COVID's given young people?
What's that?
A sense that the plumber is going to show up at any time, but it's not happening. It's like the milkman, like finding a plumber, finding an electrician right now to do one shade. Like people are all doing these home renos, and finding somebody to go out and do one thing is just not going to happen.
No, it's hard. And even, we're trying to put together a closet, and we've been to IKEA 3 times because they never have the product in. So it's frustrating. I mean, thankfully we know how to do the stuff at home, but it is hard getting tradespeople. It is hard getting product, and hopefully there is an end to what it is. So you've gone, let's say, from building your builds now are 8 months out.
Yeah.
Would you say
and you know what? To all real estate agents out there, if anybody says it's less, they're doing their clients a disservice if they write for less, because there's no way. There's no way. We got a house fully done with 2 windows missing, ready to insulate. We can't insulate because the 2 windows are on back order.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know when we were getting ready to build and, selling this house here, my biggest fear was a closing date on the house. And so thankfully that fear is gone now. So if it takes a year to build a house, I don't care, because I don't have to move from my current place. But yeah, that is very stressful. If you sold your house, you have to go live in an apartment because you don't know when your end date is. No one can predict it, which is so unfortunate. And one more question, when you were talking about working from home, so has that impacted your house plans at all? Have you taken that into consideration, like you're putting in a home office?
Most of the homes have a main floor main office, and we've been trying to rejig it so it's closer to the front door for receiving packages, or if somebody had to come in. So I'm just thinking about the last 4 that we did. They both had 2 offices. They had his and hers. Yes. So we had, generally hers is on the main floor. And I don't know why that is. They want the brightness. They want to be on the main floor. Maybe they're putting on a meal or switching the dishwasher while they're on the headset with somebody. And the guy is either upstairs or downstairs. And that could be because there's a big screen TV downstairs and he can put it on mute and watch the game while he's working at home. I don't know, but they both have their little niches that they want, and they cannot work in the same office.
No. Oh my God. No.
Oh my God. There's almost been divorces over that. Let's just work together.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's so funny because I used to work upstairs. I think I changed my office in the house 3 times, and now I'm in the basement, but I love it down here because I'm so segregated from the house, and it is nice and bright down here. So I get the basement thing, but and I understand obviously being bright upstairs on the main floor. So is there anything else you'd like to add? Like, this has been great, just to hear from the builder and some of the trials and tribulations.
I think it's all like, most of the clients we deal with are pretty realistic, but I have heard some horror stories. I am the past president of the home builders. Builders the clients just going up one side and down the other, or the realtor. I think what COVID has taught us is that we all just got to give each other a little break. That country music song, let's all just chill and have a beer.
Yep.
Because the builder doesn't get paid until the house is done.
Yeah.
He has a very minimal deposit, probably 10% up front, but the majority of his money is on close date. So if he could at all close it, he's going to close it.
Of course.
Right? So he's not intentionally delaying your closing just because he doesn't like you.
No.
So that's a ridiculous statement, and people need to just just
I
work
think-
with the builder. And
Right.
if they can't get certain materials, like we did a house and we had to put in temporary appliances because we couldn't
Yep.
get appliances for 5 months.
Wow.
And that was next door to the one you just sold for us.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So we had to get mixed matched appliances, half from Costco, half from Leon's to get them outfitted because they had to self-isolate when they got here. And we couldn't get all black fixtures for plumbing for one house. So we had to put in some temporary taps when they came in, go back and flip them. So it's just all just being conscious that some of these factories are on half staff.
Yep.
We
And, you know,
can't
it's
get the
just
materials.
communication
And
between
miscommunication.
the project manager, the builder,
Yeah.
and the office manager, the real estate agent between, it's
Yeah.
just everybody communicating. And then, yeah, I mean, that's all it is. And because it is stressful, but if you know going in ahead of time, it is what it is. And, you know, and plan.
And have pictures. Like I often tell the ladies, because it's 90% of the ladies doing the houses. That's who we're working with.
Yeah.
The guy pops in for 10% of the conversations. But I was like, so the guys think differently than us ladies. If you've got a picture of what you want, you will get it if you can show them a picture. But if you go in and go, I want that thingamabob that goes down the wall, and it just looks like it ain't happening. You're going to get what comes out of their head, that thingamabob, not the thingamabob that's in your head that is wainscoting.
This is why I am a Pinterest hoarder. Like I have been going on and like, I like this. And yeah, no, I'm, cause I don't know how to articulate what I like, and I can only show you. And I'm really bad at visualizing. It's brutal. And we do in the closet, he had to put tape on the floor so I'd understand it. And, but hey.
But that's because we're visual. That's the way we are, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, and wishing you all the best as you continue down the COVID road. Take care.
Okay. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Thank you.